eradicate them if we have to. They'll be eradicated, and they know that. So they went in.
To ensure the success of this effort, my plan calls for the creation of a new international oversight body, the Board of Peace, we call it, the Board of Peace, sort of a beautiful name.
In a major twist in Middle East politics, U.S. President Donald Trump has proposed a new plan that could completely change how Gaza is run.
We made a deal with Hamas that, they're going to be very good, they're going to behave, they're going to be nice, and if they're not, we're going to go and we're going to eradicate them if we have to. They'll be eradicated, and they know that. So they went in, and I don't believe it was the leadership, but they had some rebellion in there among themselves, and they killed some people, a lot of people.
His idea? To send a U.S.-led international force into Gaza, not just to keep the peace, but to take control and help rebuild the area until the year 2027. This plan has already been sent to the United Nations Security Council as a formal draft resolution. If it passes, it means foreign troops, mainly American and Turkish, could be on the ground in Gaza within months.
So during the pause, thousands of metric tons of food, blankets and mattresses, bottled water, medical supplies and fuel were delivered to UNRWA shelters, hospitals and warehouses in the north. This is a lifeline. About 88% of this assistance, important to say, was delivered by the Palestine Red Crescent Society in coordination and facilitation of the United Nations. With the resumption of war, of course, we fear that the continuation of this is now in doubt. So we need a resumption of a pause and not a return to war.
The proposal creates a new group called the International Stabilization Force, or ISAF. This force would stay in Gaza for at least 2 years, maybe longer, up to the end of 2027. Its job would be to At the same time, a new body called the Board of Peace would manage day-to-day affairs in Gaza. Trump says he will personally chair this board, which would oversee reconstruction, coordinate aid, and make sure Gaza runs smoothly until the Palestinian Authority is ready to take over again. In short, Trump's plan aims to create a temporary government for Gaza, led by the U.S. and its allies to stabilize the region.
To ensure the success of this effort, my plan calls for the creation of a new international oversight body, the Board of Peace, we call it, the Board of Peace, sort of a beautiful name, the Board of Peace, which will be headed, not at my request, believe me, I'm very busy, but we have to make sure this works. The leaders of the Arab world and Israel and everybody involved asked me to do this, so it would be headed by a gentleman known as President Donald J. Trump of the United States. That's what I want, is some extra work to do, but it's so important that I'm willing to do it, and we'll do it right, and we're going to put leaders from other countries on, and leaders that are very distinguished leaders, and we'll have a board, and one of the people that wants to be on the board is the UK former Prime Minister, Tony Blair, good man, very good man, and some others. And they'll be named over the next few days. And it'll be quite the board. Working, everybody wants to be on it now. I don't know if that had anything to do. They named me and everybody else wanted to be on it. I guess they figure, well, he's a soft touch. He'll be easy to deal with. Working with the World Bank and others, it'll be responsible for recruiting and training a new government that will be made up of Palestinians along with highly qualified experts from all around the world. Hamas and other terrorist factions will play no role in the board, but they'll play no role in the governance of Gaza at all, directly or indirectly. As you know, thousands of Hamas leaders have been killed and soldiers have been killed. And we can never forget October 7th, but thousands have paid the price for that.
The ISAF will be U.S.-led, but several countries are expected to join, including Turkey, Egypt, Indonesia, and Azerbaijan. The U.S. says troops could begin deploying as early as January, depending on the UN vote. Turkey's involvement is especially important and controversial. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has said Turkey has a crucial responsibility to help rebuild Gaza and is ready to send troops and aid. For Turkey, this could be a big diplomatic win, showing it as a peace enforcer instead of a supporter of Hamas, as critics have claimed for years. Trump has praised Erdogan for helping pressure Hamas into a ceasefire and for securing the release of hostages. But Israel is not happy with Turkey's growing role.
So this is a tough man. This is a guy who's highly opinionated. Usually I don't like opinionated people, but I always like this one.
Israeli officials argue that Turkey is too close to Islamist groups and can't be trusted to act in Israel's security interests. To them, letting Turkey help stabilize Gaza could give Ankara too much influence in the region, and that's something Israel has long tried to limit. So while Trump sees Turkey as a partner in peace, Israel sees it as a rival moving in on its backyard. Under this new plan, Hamas would give up control of Gaza. The ISF would work to disarm Hamas and destroy any remaining military sites or tunnels. In return, Hamas could be allowed some political participation later, but only if it gives up its weapons and agrees to work under the new system. So far, there are mixed signals. Some Hamas leaders, especially those linked to Turkey, seem open to the idea of a peaceful transition. But others are likely to resist, which means there could still be tensions and clashes on the ground. One of the biggest side effects of this plan is the growing tension between Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The two were once close allies. Trump moved the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem and strongly supported Israel during his presidency, but now Israel is upset. Officials there say Trump's new plan gives too much power to foreign countries and could limit Israel's control over Gaza's security. Meanwhile, Trump's team argues that this is the only realistic way to keep Gaza stable and prevent another war. So what was once a warm political friendship is now under serious strain.